welcome back. If you are just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. And this is where we'll talk about all the trending issues on the internet and, of course, give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and I am never alone in the studio. Joining me today is Mr. Michael Gobadia, and together we're talking about all the trending gist on the internet. So where do we start this morning? Because we have a lot. Mr. Michael, where do you think we should start?
Well,
I think I'll go for
Big
Brother Naija. Yes, Big Brother Naija came to a close yesterday after 72 days of emotional blows and all of that went on there. And Imisi Ayonwale won Big Brother Naija season 10. That's a 10 over 10 minus nothing, taking home the grand prize of 150 million naira, a whopping sum of 150 million naira. Her victory has been celebrated by many as the triumph of authenticity, humor, relatability, but it has a set of questions about what values are we really celebrating and what are we sacrificing in the country today. And because you just have some set of people locked up in a room, in a house for 72 days, and next one person is bagging home a whopping amount of money, while we have educational stuffs and all of that going on, and people get prizes like that not really worth it, like $200, 1,000 naira, and all of that. It really raises a whole lot of concerns, Mr. Michael.
Well, you're not far from the truth, especially looking at the reward of being locked up for some 2 days, and sometimes the things we see there are really unthinkable.
Yeah, of course.
Immorality seems to swell well. You see men and women that just could not hold themselves, and they just dive deep into immoral acts. And at the end of the day, you ask, what really value is all of this placing in our society, especially looking at the decay that we seem to have in this country at the moment. Many are really already criticizing all of that and saying, well, it doesn't give any moral value, especially at this time when we need to do more as it concerns uplifting our value. So 150 million, well, I will not stop in telling her congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well, she really does deserve it. But we should now try to think around giving that very program a face of responsibility, a face of improving values, and a face of actually speaking positive to our very young ones. And when I mean all of that face, we need to now bring in some certain values that should be incorporated into the program to at least uplift the living standard of many Nigerians, not only just the cash and the finance, but also seeing what values they can take home.
Yeah, saying what values they can take home. And I think that was the last Big Brother before this one. So many people came out on the internet to say that they need things like gospel shows, gospel reality shows, and all of that, that they cannot keep supporting immorality in the States. But I tend to do some research and find out that there are some persons that actually do all of these reality shows and all of that, reality music contest and the rest, and they don't get enough recognition. They don't get enough sponsors. People want to sponsor the one that is known already, and they do not want to go for the ones that are just starting off. But it still brings us to the question of what are we supporting in the country? What values are we supporting? This has to do a lot with, this would create some kind of, I don't know, thoughts in the heads of younger generations talking about, okay, I think this way is what's pay in the country, and this way is what I would take. This route is what I would do. But it's wrong. When you see people doing, like having first class graduates and all of that, they don't get recognized. And then some persons just go there, and the next thing, they're celebrities.
Yeah, showing off their body and
like
drinking and doing some very...
We really want to celebrate people that are making impact, and not people just going there doing all sorts of immorality and the rest, and coming out bagging a whooping sum of 150 million naira grand prize. Well, that won't stop me for congratulating Imisi. Congratulations, Imisi, on your whooping sum of 150 million. So that's that on Big Brother Naija. So let's talk about this Japa wave. So I saw this very statement that life is not greener abroad. Stay in your country. work things out. And who is saying this? This is coming from High Life music legend Bright Chimezie. So he said that Nigeria should rethink about the whole rush of relocating abroad, that we have opportunities here if only we look closely, that some persons go there and end up washing toilets. And meanwhile, when you're in your country, you would say, no, I cannot do that kind of job. But when you get there, you tend to do all of those things just because you want to earn a living there. Well, let's see the footage.
Way our problem is here, we are aping those people over there. We always feel that the grass is greener outside. The grass is not greener there. I don't travel small. In fact, you walk, no more opportunities there. This is one Africa you can come, you can develop this, develop there. If you go there on a salary, then go pay a salary. And you have to start from washing toilets. So I blame the white man for it.
So you heard him. He said life is not greener there, so you should stay here and work, because he said some persons get there and do harder jobs, harder work than that they do in Nigeria. They just get there and work just because you want to earn a living there, when you can actually just stay back in your country. That he sees no reason why everybody's trying to rush into other countries, Mr. Michael.
Well, anyways, he might be saying the truth, but the honest truth is that when you compare the economy there and compare it here, well, some will also agree that it's just economical with the truth. Because irrespective of the job you do there, when you have the feeling of better workplace, better energy facilities, you take $1 and you eat more than a meal, and you just can't take 1,000 naira and eat any meal, yeah? When you have security at the top notch, not the one that a bandit will be invading a whole country, a whole community rather, then you really put all of that on the table and talk about the issue of Japa. That is the very reason many young Nigerians are leaving. So the living standard is quite different here and abroad. You can watch toilets and save a lot to build a house here, but you cannot wash or sweep a whole full story building here and build a house. So let's not be economical with the truth. But the truth still remains, Nigerians still need to remain here for us to add our collective responsibility, our collective effort to build a stronger nation. But to say life is never greener abroad. It can never be greener as your place. You'll never be appreciated there because this is where you're from. But the honest truth is that everybody, especially government, needs to do more for Nigerians to truly appreciate their own country rather than jackparing.
I love that, jackparing. All right, so while Bright Chimezie and Mr. Michael is asking us to stay here and build our nation, one Nigerian doctor abroad has said, hello, I beg to differ. And this has really got everyone talking, both online and offline. According to him, his 6 months' pay in the UK was his 7 months' salary in Nigeria. And at this point, we are getting 7 years salary in Nigeria. And at this point, we're getting confused, like, okay, should we stick with Bright Chimezie and Mr. Michael's advice, or should we just take from what this doctor is saying, that his whole 7 years salary in Nigeria is his 4 months salary in the UK? So at this point, I am even confused. I don't know. But thank God, even if we don't have Bright here to defend it, we have Mr. Michael here to defend it.
I said it earlier. I said the pay there is better than here. And there's no gainsaying it. It's just the honest truth. I said somebody will be washing toilets and build a house here, but you'll be cleaning a full story building and you do nothing here. The truth is, the pay there is beautiful. The pay is rewarding. The pay is definitely more than what we have here. Now, let's take our mind. He's just talking about the pay, but let's look at the working condition, which is also critical.
Yeah.
You could still remember just 2 weeks ago, a doctor died out of exhaustion here in Nigeria.
Here in Nigeria, yeah.
And he is even, with what will land, he's even a resident doctor, not here a full-fledged doctor. And he had the experience of meeting about 78 persons in less than 48 hours, which is something that is mind-blowing. But when you go overseas, they regulate the number of patients you see, and they reduce the number of your workload and reduce the time of your work. That will in every way help you to relax, enjoy, and live long. So no surprise we're having many professionals leaving the shores of Nigeria, and like I would say, Japa, have more better job security there. There's better insurance to cover for anything that happens. Just imagine the man that died, the family still in limbo. They've not come to collect anything that concerns him, especially as it concerns government giving out something to the family. So when you look at all of that, you really understand. Our fallen naira has been a major problem. I could still remember in the early 80s and even in 70s, our currency was far better than that of the United Kingdom. But here we are at this point, and our salary, our money is even far lesser than how it used to be. So there's no magic. There's no rocket science. Yeah. Definitely Nigerians will live when you have greener pastures outside.
This is, should I say, a sad kind of reality that we really need to face in the country. So I remember, was it sometime last year when the federal government was asking doctors to stay back here in Nigeria, that we're lacking doctors here in Nigeria. But the truth is, when they don't get satisfied with everything, they have poor working condition, and they're still battling with their salaries and all of that, and you want them to stay. And you know, I just found out from somebody that if you're looking for the easiest way to leave this country, just go study medicine. Once you study that, is there a route for you? Yeah, is there a route for you that once you, like, I think they said abroad needs more of these doctors and all of that. So they just want to study medicine and leave. But the truth is, when you leave, who are you leaving the country for? Who are you leaving your fatherland for? Well, it is what it is. So you watching, are you team greener pasture here or team Japa? So drop your thoughts in the comment section of all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. So away from that, I saw this story that has really stirred outrage and shock across Ebonyi State. So the Ebonyi State Police Command has arrested a cleric and general overseer of Champion the Truth Cathedral, Bishop Ndubweze Onyagoziri Okorie, over a disturbing allegation involving a 22-year-old female sickle cell patient. According to reports, the cleric was arrested for allegedly engaging in a marathon sexual act with the young woman in an attempt to miraculously change her SS status to AA. This has really raised questions about accountability within religious circles and protection of vulnerable individuals. Mr. Michael, like, this is so disheartening, and I don't like when things like this just try to drag the Christendom to, should I say, mud, because you that people are looking up to, and you're the one giving the Christendom a bad name. Like, how do people see all of this miracle? You just told somebody that I would miraculously change your status from SS to AA through sexual acts. Not through prayers, not through fasting, nothing, just sexual acts, Mr. Michael.
Well, it goes to show you how gullible Nigerians have become, especially when it comes to faith and religion and Christianity. You know, sex outside marriage is a sin.
Yeah.
And he's telling you he wants to commit sin with you to change your fortunes. He's putting you at spiritual and physical risks.
Yeah.
It's madness when we see Nigerians, rather than question persons that are perceived to be leaders, be it in the religious or even in the political space, and we feel not to do that, this is what we get at the end. Nigerians should remember that, well, there's every shade of evil everywhere, be it in the workplace, be it in the church, be it wherever you are, there's every shade of evil. And you should always have that rethink about issues that really concerns your well-being. How can somebody claim to change the sickle cell to AA? Has it ever been done by even medical science? Talk less of a man that feels he has that spiritual gift and will not do it by laying hands on you as Jesus laid hands and changed the fortunes of people, but rather using his love stick to do that. Well, anyway, he has done it. I feel his love stick has taken him to where he should go, and there he should remain.
Well, these people keep going for vulnerable individuals,
Gullible
people that
individuals.
are, maybe you should use that word, and people that are so desperate. We've heard cases of people looking for the fruit of the womb for how long, and then they go to churches. And instead of you to just tell this pastor to lay hands on you and all of that, he is telling you, okay, we have to do this for several days to be able to give you a child. In other words, he's telling you that your husband is impotent and you're just agreeing to that. So I don't know why all of this keep happening. These desperate people keep falling prey to all of these people that claim to be pastors, but I won't call them pastors. Well, the full details of this case are still unfolding, and the police has confirmed that Bishop Okorie is currently in custody as investigation continues. Well, once we get more updates on that, we'll definitely update you. So yes, good news coming out of Imo State. Remember, Governor Uzodinma had earlier pledged that he was going to review his workers' salary to 104,000 naira. And it seems his promise wasn't fake, it wasn't empty promises, as Imo State workers expressed a deep appreciation to God and Governor Hope Uzodinma for keeping his promise and implementing the new wage structure. So for many civil servants, this development is a breath of fresh air, especially at a time when the cost of living keeps climbing nationwide. So Mr. Michael, I think his promise wasn't just fake promises, it wasn't empty, it wasn't audio promises. So he finally did it. Remember when we discussed this here?
Yeah, and many guys were saying now they'll marry women from Imo State.
And I was thinking of going there too.
Well, anyways, you do know he's the leader of the Progressive Governors Forum, and as being the head, he will definitely want to also live by example. And no surprise, he's living to his words and promise of bettering the lives of many Imo indigenes, especially those in the public workplace. But anyway, as much as he does that, I want this to be more like a challenge to other governors, especially the progressive governors, to see how they can also implement this and also better the lives of those working as civil servants in their various states. Yes, as much as you can work, you can also get your wage. And you definitely agree with me that things have really skyrocketed in recent time. And a pay of 70,000 naira is not going to feed a family of 4 throughout the whole month. Talk less of provision of transportation, provision of healthcare, provision of a roof over their head. Things seems to have changed. Cooking gas now has increased almost 4 to 500% in the last 5 years. And yes, come on, more needs to be done. And I feel this governor is just setting the pace as it concerns better pay for his workers.
Yes, talking about setting the pace for better pay. This is a really nice one coming from Governor Uzodinma. And I hope other states follow suit, even the federal government. Because imagine the federal government paying 70,000 naira, and then a state governor increased his to 104,000 naira. In as much as we know that even 104,000 naira is not and can never be enough in this current situation of Nigeria, but at least it's a stepping stone, it's a start, at least for the workers in the state. Well, to you watching, do you think this 104 minimum wage will other states, do you think other states will follow suit? Of course, you can drop your comments in the comment section of all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, I think time is not really on our side. Sadly, we have to go here. This is where we have to wrap it up on Trending on Viewpoints on Atlantic TV. I had a really, really amazing time. Mr. Michael, you had an amazing time.
Well, amazing it is. And like I said, it's the beginning of the week. And most importantly, we really want to say congratulations to all Nigerian teachers. Today is your day. Do shakara and indeed enjoy your day. And our prayers and hope, best hope and wishes are to you all for adding your quota to this great nation called Nigeria. I'm Michael Gobadia. Let's see how we do this come tomorrow.
Yes, and I am Mercy Erabo. See you for another exciting edition of Viewpoint tomorrow. Have a great day.